BrokeN, boys. Colin, what episode is this?
This is episode 200. 200.
Oh, yeah.
200!
Yeah.
Yay, we're on the casting couch. So,
Doing this.
yeah. Episode 200 of BrokeN Boys.
Yeah. I sure hope my parents tune into this episode for the first time.
I mean, you know, what's weird about that?
Yeah,
You know, we're just saying 200. 200. That's all we're saying.
Yeah.
Nothing weird about it.
Nothing weird about it.
So, you know, if you know, Mr. and Mrs. Mike and Mike's mom and dad choose to tune in, there's nothing lewd, there's nothing weird. It's just episode 200, and that's all it is.
Absolutely.
You know, and this week, that's it, you know.
Oh, I'm Mike.
I'm Colin.
Yeah, if you were curious who he was talking about when he said Mr. and Mrs. Mike's mom and dad. That's me.
But, you know, it's episode 200, so if it's your first time tuning in, what are you doing? There's 199 episodes before this. Hey,
better late than never.
You know, true.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for almost 4 years, so...
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's like a quarter of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close. I don't know math, so you could be more right than I am wrong.
It would be like 16.
But
yeah,
we're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting old. But, you know, we're keeping with the tradition of every 5 episodes and artist analysis.
Mm-hmm.
And this week we're doing Daft Punk. We're going to talk about their discography, our thoughts and feelings. We didn't go all out. We just did their 4 main ones.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, notably we don't have the, I think it's called a Live 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess if we really wanted to be proactive one week, we could have also had the Daft Punk soundtrack. Or not the Punk. the Tron Legacy soundtrack.
Yeah. But, you know. We're not that cool. So
yeah.
Maybe someday we'll listen to those on our own time and talk about them. But for now, just got 4 albums. Artist analysis of Daft Punk. Before we get into that, how was your week, Mike?
Week was fine. Busy week. Very busy week.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because it was the week of Christmas. I mean, this will be coming out almost a week after Christmas happened now, but that was only a couple days ago for us here recorded. Yeah, my family, love my family. They they really like making Christmas and Christmas Eve some of the longest days of the year. Right. Shoving as much as they can into those days as possible. So for Christmas Eve, we were hosting a little get-together for the family like we usually do, but because of how that usually is, now we have basically 2 Christmas dinners that we do right in a row. Mm-hmm. But we got some wings catered in that were pretty good. There was one that was like a teriyaki ginger one that was nice, and then their buffalo was pretty good too, and with ranch, the buffalo was very good. But you know, had to help set up with that and a whole bunch of other food too. I mean, we had a shrimp ring that I posted on my story with the simple caption of "fuck yeah." I just thought that was funny.
Nothing else needed.
That's exactly.
Perfect reaction.
Yeah. But you know, setting up with dinner stuff, setting up the house because people were coming over and all that. So that was pretty much all the day beforehand. And then by the time people got there, we were still setting up and everything. I made an offhand joke at some point. So when's the part where we get to sit down and enjoy our family being here? But, you know, that did happen eventually, but it was only for like probably 40 minutes, if that. But, you know, it's fine. Then after that, we went to the Christmas Eve service at our church like we usually do. My grandpa hosts a like musicale right beforehand. It's like a 30 minutes just Christmas musicians playing their things before the midnight service at Christmas Eve. And I wrote 2 things for that. I wrote a clarinet and flute duet for me and my aunt, and got to do that. It was a little medley of We Three Kings, O Come, Come Emmanuel, and Silent Nights. No, pretty fun. It's nice to... I realized when I was playing with her, I was like, man, this is kind of the first time I've played with another musician in a while. Because even when I was teching at the high school, like I wasn't really playing with them. I was more playing at people. Like, this is how you play this line, you know. So that was nice being able to do that again. And then I wrote a little piece with my grandpa too. We kind of did like a real half and half thing, and ended up being this cool thing. I wrote like a backing track for him as he sang over it, and yeah, that turned out pretty cool too.
Very cool.
And you know, midnight service. It's Christmas service, you know, whatever. It was fine for the most part. And I always really like, well, actually I should say, right after the musical, like I said, my grandpa hosts that.
Yeah.
And a lot of our family gets featured in it too. And for me it was, well, I wrote two of the pieces and played on one of them, and then my brother and one of my cousins were singing at the end of it too. And he made the comment at the end, he was like, I've run out of grandchildren now, so we can go to the service or whatever. But I was sitting right next to my other cousin who didn't do anything for it. Just, she lives in Iowa. Just immediately she was like, what? So now we have the joke that she's been disowned as a grandchild. Yeah, it's
Sucks to suck.
Sucks to suck.
Out
yeah.
of the
will. Yeah. should have stayed in Illinois. No, but yeah, that was fine though. It got long, and then of course we woke up early for Christmas morning afterwards, and I didn't get like a lick of sleep.
Awesome.
I made the joke to my brother. I was like really tired on the drive home, and then I was like, man, I sure hope I can sleep tonight. Shouldn't have said that because I couldn't.
Just too excited for Santa to come.
I know, I was so excited. But yeah, it was like, I think I got maybe 2 hours or so.
That's all I need.
Yep, then right into Christmas gift unwrapping. You know, a half dead zombie. But you know, it was good though. Got some nice gifts throughout the day. Got a nice new flannel that I wore yesterday for a video you'll see next week. A little proactive here on the BrokeN Bois podcast. I got that. Got some shirts. Got a little Beatles blanket with all of their lyrics on it, and it outlines their instruments or whatever. It was pretty cool. That might even be something I like hang up on a wall or something. Yeah, I got some AirPods because I'm not sure if you remember. I think it might have been the second Secret Santa, or maybe the third. Vince got me like earbuds.
Yeah,
and
use those.
Yeah, that's what I used. At least in the last couple of years of high school, I want to say, and then all throughout college. But like one of the wires was like exposed now by the ear, and I was like, well, they're on their last legs. Maybe I should get something else. So I got some nice classic AirPods.
The longer ones or the?
I don't know. I don't really know the difference between them. It's like a modern. I said classic, but it's like a modern version of it, but not like the most expensive one because there's like a $150 difference between just the regular ones and the pros or whatever. I don't know.
Well, they got the mine are the ones with like the little.
Oh, the little buds. That's right. I don't think mine have the buds on them.
Okay.
But
then there's like the first generation, which are like they just look like the Apple headphone, the Apple earbuds that have like a little longer stem.
I think that's kind of what I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Get some new. So I'll be able to listen to music again. Haven't done it since.
No.
But
you're supposed to.
Exactly. But I got some speakers as well that I can use for music mixing, and can use for a record player that I got as well. I didn't get record player for Christmas, but got a new one of those a while back. I think I talked about that on the pod. My dad really will just pick one up from his work.
Oh, yeah.
Got a package left behind or something. I don't know. I only got one vinyl this year. I got Wall of Eyes, The Smile, which looks really nice on vinyl, actually. But
gotta get yourself Magdalena Bay.
Yeah, I think so. I was hoping for that one, but it's okay. Then just, long night again, because like I said, Christmas Part 2 happened on actual Christmas, and then just... I took a nap before that too for like 2 hours, and it was one of those naps where the sleep was bad because waking up from the nap was like the hardest thing I had to do all day. Then long night, and then we opened gifts at grandparents' house, and there was a funny joke. My mom and her sister and mom or whatever really like Winnie the Pooh and like Peanuts and stuff. And my mom made the offhand comment of oh, what if Snoopy and Pooh Bear met each other or something like that? And my uncle just chimes in from the corner, then you would get Poopy. My brother and I were dying.
Oh. God, that's good.
I know, that's like straight up my humor. I was dying at that. I was like, you set him up for that. I'm surprised I didn't think of that.
It feels like something I chuckle about to myself and never say out loud.
Yeah, my uncle, he doesn't have a filter. Well, he does, but it's a loose filter.
Poopy.
Yeah, then you would get Poopy. Yeah, and then after that, between when we opened gifts and had dinner, I had a historic checkers match with my cousin. I think neither of us had played checkers in a long time. And I think since I've last played checkers, I've learned somewhat how to play chess. So, and I think maybe the same with her. And we were both like, it was the most intense game because we were actually thinking strategy of what's happening and not just, oh, I can jump. Whoop. It was. I ended up winning, but it went back and forth for like a half an hour. I want to say it was, and my uncle again was like, "This is why we have chess teams, not checkers teams. This game could have ended hours ago." But yeah, dinner was good too. But it got very late and very. It didn't actually get that late. It was like 8 p.m. or something, but it just felt so long.
Oh, sure.
And other than that though, we've been watching the Harry Potter movies a little bit. We watched the first 4 all together, and then I think my mom watched the 5th and 6th one this morning, and I was like, yeah, go ahead, I'm fine. I've seen them enough times. I know what's going on. And then that's pretty much it. Other than that, we been playing a little new game, like a Lethal Company type thing.
Oh, okay.
It's like Lethal Company, but mixed with the movie The Thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like if you were to merge those two, you would basically get this game called Nuclear Nightmare. That's been pretty fun. I posted a little video of that on my gaming channel because we had a really fun session with a lot of cinematic moments in it. It's pretty fun, but it's also kind of one of those. It's like, we'll probably only have a couple more games in it before we get everything we need, and then it's like, all right. But pretty fun one.
Yeah.
But let me check. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me, though. In terms of, I listened to Daft Punk this week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We'll get into that.
Yeah, it was
oh yeah. How was your week? Sorry.
Came back up here on Friday. The night after our late night pod.
Yes.
Came up here. Just been chilling. Been hanging out with the fam. Missing Max, but it's all right. I'll see you Sunday. But not a whole lot, to be honest.
That's okay.
Christmas Eve was good. Usually we spend it with we spend it here at my dad and my stepmom's house, and like my stepmom's family comes over. We have like cooked dinner and everything. It's just like a nice little party. But this year, her my stepmom's mom had an accident and broke both of her ankles a little while ago. So she was like, yeah, I'm not super comfortable coming over. And
Makes sense.
The only way to get to bathrooms in this house is up or downstairs. So, also the dog Scout, he's big and he can run people over.
Big love. Yeah.
So, it was just me, my siblings, my dad and my stepmom and her kid. But, we ordered in some Chinese.
Nice.
That was good. Wasn't from the place where I grew up eating Chinese at. But, still pretty good. Nothing, it wasn't too crazy or anything. I was missing the, the Christmas ham. because
Mm.
I don't think we had it last year either. But you know, I've been craving some nice ham like that. And we just haven't had it, which is fine. But Chinese was good. Opened some presents. I got Plastic Death by Glass Beach on vinyl.
Nice. It looks nice.
It's a nice vinyl. The cover and everything, the packaging is all like nicely textured, and the vinyl is pressed on orange.
I'll have to feel that cover when we leave here.
You can fondle my
vinyl
vinyl cover all you want.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I got a new carrying case for my vinyls because my other ones fold up, so I needed some more space.
Yeah.
And I got a nice Visa gift card, a little $100 Visa gift card.
Ooh, nice. I only got a $50 Visa gift card. Fortnite emotes on me.
But you know, that was nice. Just chill Christmas Eve. Much more chill than what yours sounded like, and just
like I said, I love my family. I just
just a lot. It's a lot.
Let's spend time together instead of time worrying.
Yeah.
Yes.
But also earlier this week, I was like, my mom or my stepmom and my dad told me about like you can trade in your phones, get a new one, and you just pay monthly or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, yeah, okay. And then when I got home, I was like, how do I do that? And then my stepmom was like, yeah, I can walk you through it. And it took like 5 minutes. And he's like, okay, your phone will be here in like 2 days. I'm like, oh.
Damn. I didn't know they delivered that like that too.
Right.
Oh, actually, I did know that because I think we did that last time too, and I thought it was crazy that I had to send it back.
Yeah.
And everything. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. But I got to pay like $17 a month for 2 years, which is like not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, I bought my last phone straight up after like no monthly payments or anything after like the stimulus check and
right,
and like tax refund stuff. So in like 2022, so I had my phone for a good while. That was like the beginning of 2022. So I was like, I think it's time. I think it's time for a new one. So got a nice iPhone 16.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm enjoying it. It's nice and like bluish purple. The color of it.
That is a nice color, yeah.
But I'm getting used to the buttons on the sides of it because instead of a switch for like the silent or ringer, it's just a button itself now. You just hold it to change it, which is it's normal kind of, but like the buttons are slightly lower on the sides of these, so I keep accidentally turning up the volume instead of turning down. Yeah. And then there's also a designated a button on the other side to open the camera, and you can. It's like touch sensitive, and you can.
Oh, that's cool. In. I like that part.
Yeah, so it's easier to take pictures, and it's cool. But that's been nice this week.
Yeah.
I've also been playing Balatro a good bit because it was like it's $10 on the App Store, and I was like, this was nominated for Game of the Year. Let's see why. And it's solitaire, but it's poker, and it's very fun and addicting. And
yeah, sounds interesting.
I'm having a good time with it. But
how much money have you lost?
No real money.
Damn. I'm not interested.
But I'm trying to get good enough at Balatro to go waste my money away at the slots. At the real casinos.
Yeah, I think that's how that works. Yeah.
So. But and then on Christmas I went up to my mom's boyfriend's house, and he had a nice Christmas there. My mom always makes lasagna and like her family like sauce for that. It's really good. It's got like meatballs and sausage and pork in it. It's very good. A bunch of appetizers and it was good. Garlic bread as well with the lasagna.
Nice.
Of course. Nice Italian Christmas. My grandma popped in. We spent some time with her and my mom's brother, so my uncle. He came in, and he's like this cool kind of hippie dude.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't seen him in a while. It was just like it was nice to see him too. He's quiet, but he's a cool dude. He works at a like a place called the Great American Bagel.
Oh yeah,
company or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I hadn't heard of, but I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then and they're usually allowed to bring like extra bagels home that they're.
Oh, that's nice.
But it's usually just like a dozen you're allowed to bring home. But he brought all the bagels to Christmas, and it was like at least 50 bagels.
Oh my god!
I was like,
it's a lot of bread.
Shit. But I grabbed a whole sleeve of jalapeno cheddar bagels.
Ooh.
And they've been very good.
Yeah.
But my sibling June ate one of them earlier today, even though they took a sleeve of their own bagels. And I knocked on their door and I was like, "You ate one of my bagels?" And they looked down at their hand with half of it eaten and went, "Oh shit." It's like, you have your own bagel.
That's when you take your sleeve of bagels and just...
Exactly. Shut up. And it's like, they eat bread like a fiend. They love bread.
Like my neighbor, yeah.
So it's like, but they had their own sleeve of bagels, so I was like, bro, come on.
Bagel theft.
I know.
Yeah.
But and then from my mom, I got the Mythical Cookbook, which is the Rhett and Link and their Mythical Kitcheneers wrote a cookbook with a bunch of cool recipes in it.
Nice.
I might have tried out some of those.
Yeah.
Lots of interesting stuff in there. Some stuff that they've made on the shows over the years. But then at the end, there's like some really like weird shit. Like there was like like lamb brain, like Nashville hot lamb brain, or something like that. And just weird stuff like that. But,
sounds like good mythical morning.
Yeah. But that was cool. And then I got some V-Bucks.
Oh hell yeah!
Hell yeah, V-Bucks from my mom. He was like 2,800 V-Bucks. So I was balling.
Yeah. Jesus.
And then it's a $25 PlayStation gift card from my mom's boyfriend.
Nice.
And my mom also got me the same Clancy shirt that I already had, but that's okay. I sent her the link to there's this one that has like a picture of, it's on the Hot Topic website. It's like a picture of the Navigating music video.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, here's that. And then she went in person where they don't sell it in person. And she was like, I couldn't find it, but I have this one. And then like the day before I was wearing that shirt. And Maddie knew, my other sibling knew that I had that shirt because like on Christmas Eve when they were over, they looked down like, oh.
Yeah.
And then, oh well. But that's okay. So my mom still has the receipt somewhere, so I'll exchange it or something.
Yeah.
But there was one other thing. I swear to God.
It makes you feel better. I didn't list all of my presents. I just.
Yeah. But and then it was a good Christmas. June put on Deadpool and Wolverine, so I kind of half watched that, and some good moments in that movie.
Yeah.
And then on Monday, I rewatched The Holdovers that I watched early this year, like right after Christmas last year, and it's just as good. I love that movie.
It's the one with Spielberg's, right?
No, that's The Holdovers is the one with Paul Giamatti, and it's like it was like really highly praised. It's like set in the 70s, like the early 70s, and it's at a private school. A bunch of kids who don't get to go home with their families for Christmas stay at the school, and Paul Giamatti's like a teacher that has to watch over them. And then they all leave but one, and then it's just left with the head of the cafeteria, Paul Giamatti's character, and the one student, and it's like really, really, really good.
Okay.
I might stick to that as a tradition to watch every year.
There you go.
Really good Christmas movie. But yeah, and then I got money from my stepmom's family. They're loaded, so.
All right.
Money.
Not too bad.
But yeah, I also listen to Daft Punk, and
Yeah.
In some news, some music news, Wilbur Soot.
Yeah.
He released a very shitty cover of Good Will Hunting by Black Country New Road.
One of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah. Very, very good album.
Yeah. very
cover.
bad cover. Yeah.
He thought he ate, but he in fact did not.
Yeah, it's got his signature quirky guitar drum kind of playing. Although it sounds shittier than usual, and I don't think it's because I don't like him as a person anymore now. I think it just straight up sounds worse than usual.
Yeah, he's sang in like a weird cadence and a weird rhythm.
That's another thing too, and like he like had like this whole like telephone filter on his voice for the whole thing, and it's like, what?
Yeah, and like he's really looking like a coked out pedophile now, and it's just not working for him.
No.
But
my album of the year review was me moments before clicking this video. All right, I'll bite.
Nice.
Thank you.
Really shitty cover though.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Oversit.
Yes.
Stay away.
Yeah.
But then came out. I don't maybe yesterday or earlier today, but Nardwuar did a interview with Timothy Chalamet.
I think it was yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, for Timothy Chalamet's Bob Dylan movie. I watched that before you came over, and it was very good. It was very fun.
Nice.
Timmy seemed kind of high during the whole thing because he was all weird and all over the place, but it might have just been his personality. Who knows?
Might be.
Just like this weird little French kid.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know he was French. Is he like from France?
he's French Canadian.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
You know. But he in the last like 10 minutes of the video, he goes around like picking out records from the record store that they're interviewing inside of. He's got like this stack that's like this thick, and Nardwuar, he's like, am I paying for these? And Nardwuar was like, I hope so. Ba boom. and Timmy Chow was like, yeah, that's all right. Dune did well.
Yeah, I saw that clip.
But it was just really good all throughout.
Yeah.
Very funny energy. Because Timothy Chalamet's he said that he's been a big fan of Nardwuar for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you know, he kept singing the fucking Nardwuar throughout the whole video.
Yeah, it sounds like he was high.
But that was good.
Yeah.
And then, you have any more music news?
I don't think so. It's, all quiet.
Right.
Christmas time.
In other controversial YouTuber news, Cody Co.
Oh, yeah.
responded, quote unquote, in a he uploaded a video to his second channel where he does like all his marathon running and workout stuff. And he was like a 20-minute video about how he's getting ready for a marathon, and then like towards the end he was like, I haven't uploaded in a while. Obviously, if your what's the word? Opinion of me has like dwindled at all. Like I spent a lot of my YouTube career judging people on the internet, so I don't blame you one bit. I'm just gonna do what's best for me and my family, and just get through it or whatever.
Keep posting videos.
Yeah. And it's like, if you want to watch what I upload, thank you from the bottom of my heart. But if not, I completely understand. And it was just like,
so not addressing the situation whatsoever, as usual.
yeah. It's not the worst YouTube apology, but not really an apology. Just more of a I'm moving past this without acknowledging it.
Yeah.
And whatever.
Yeah.
He really just fucked himself over, and that's his bad. But
I feel like that shows a lot of true colors too.
yeah, I don't know what to say about. I know that him and Kelsey just had a baby.
Yeah.
But like right before all that, but like that was 6 months. He was still wearing his wedding ring in the video, so it's like. That's a little weird character wise as well, to stay with someone who was well into their 20s having sex with a 17-year-old, but
yeah,
whatever. So that's cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
You referenced it in the Brokies yesterday when we filmed, but he started the year. We're supporting two of the people we talked about, and look where we are now.
And Mr. Beast.
And Mr. Beast. Yeah, in my opinion, Mr. Beast is severely dwindled.
No, yeah, I mean, like, I literally,
year.
I think literally earlier this year, I was telling my friends, like, it's great that there is someone that big and rich who is giving, back and all that. And while I still think that is true to an extent, like, that is cool and great that he has such, charitable tendencies, I guess.
Yeah.
Everything else is becoming a little pretty sussy. I think is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that all the charity stuff was just for tax write-offs at this point.
And very well could have been.
I wouldn't doubt it because, man, he's just become more and more of a shitty person in my
just a shell of a person, really.
Yeah. Honestly, I unfollowed him and unsubscribed from him and everything, and I haven't watched or seen anything.
You didn't watch Beast Games on Amazon Prime?
No, I can't say I have.
Wow.
But that gets to stay up. But the show that Markiplier worked on for a story podcast that he had
that got taken down.
It's about to be in like a couple days. It just got released on Amazon, and they're taking it down.
It was like a few months ago.
But that's cool.
Awesome.
Glad that Jimmy Beast can make buku bucks, and everyone else can suffer for it. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, and then also I guess one more thing, kind of somewhat related to Mr. Beast, is the whole. Did you hear about the whole thing with Honey?
No. I didn't.
Oh, well, there's a service called Honey. This is not an ad. In fact, it's kind of the opposite of an ad. It was a service. Well, it still is a service where you can, gives you the best coupons or whatever, and like you apply it. Yeah, scans and scams. It was a huge thing that a lot of people supported. Basically, there's a whole video that I don't know his name, but it was a YouTuber went into and uncovered the whole thing, and I would recommend checking out that. But basically, if you had like an affiliate link, like from another YouTuber or something, saying like you would click that, and then they would get a cut of whatever purchase you made, and like that type of cookie was what that is. That would stay in your browser for up to a couple days or so too. So if you came back or whatever and then still bought something, they would get a cut of that sale. Basically, Honey, it always had like that,
drop down.
The drop down. It was like, click here to scan for deals or whatever, and then it'll be like, sorry, no deals for you, or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, I guess at least I tried, and then you buy it. Honey replaced the cookie.
Oh.
Anytime you clicked anything on Honey, they would then get the cut from that's supposed to go to another person. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's that and a whole bunch of other things, like you're not actually getting the best coupons because people who are selling things can blacklist some of them. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of shady shit going on there. So the viewers weren't getting scammed as much as the content creators, but still, it's like that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So,
I remember all the Honey ads that were around for a long, long time.
Yeah, Mr. Beast was one of the big ones who was doing a bunch of them. Yeah.
I haven't seen any in a long time, but that's fucking great.
Yeah, I would recommend watching that video. That's a lot of stuff going on there. But
awesome.
Yeah.
Good to hear. Love scams.
Absolutely.
And grifts and stuff, but. Well, it is an RS Analysis episode.
It sure is.
This week we have listened to the discography, at least the main four, of acclaimed band, group, duo, Daft Punk. 4 albums going from Homework to Random Access Memories. And my experience with them is really only Random Access Memories, at least in whole. I've heard a bunch of their other bigger things outside of Random Access, just like their big hits and stuff. And, I gained a lot of, respect and knowledge, I guess, when watching the completely unrelated series from, channel Mike the Snare, Deep Discog Dive on Daft Punk a couple years ago at this point. But, good video.
Love Michael the Snare.
If you want more like in-depth information on the duo themselves, you can go check out the video. But stay here for this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool to see their earlier stuff. But yeah, Random Access Memories was really my only.
Yeah, I had listened to both Discovery and Random Access Memories. They're both kind of like albums that I listened to a couple times, but never like consistently returned to. So like I was still getting stuff out of both of them for this artist analysis, but I had heard both of those records before. Yeah. But yeah, cool.
You want to start us off here?
I can start us off here. All right. Hopefully this angle doesn't look too weird, but I'm going to have to do this to read. So yeah, first album we got is Homework in 1997. I also just want to say I thought they started way sooner than 1997 for some reason.
Yeah, me too.
That shocked me. I was like, oh, okay. But yes, Homework 1997. I said, I wasn't exactly sure what to expect when going into this, as my previous experiences with Daft Punk have been Discovery and Random Access Memories, both of which are pretty different from one another. Now that I'm on the other side, I think this record has a lot of humanizing qualities about it. In some ways, those aforementioned records hold like a larger-than-life quality to them. Like they're not even made by humans in some ways. It's almost what it feels like. Meanwhile, this project, Homework, feels like exactly what it is. It's two French dudes creating underground dance music with lots of cool effects on it. And I find that sound really cool from them. Because I've always heard about how influential they were to like the clubbing scene in like the late 90s. And I feel like that atmosphere is just captured really well here. The project is raw, dealing with the bare bones analog equipment of the time, yet making super catchy and groovy tracks on top of, you know, the limited technology. I also like how noisy this project gets in the second half. I feel like we don't really get much noise influence from the duo, but whenever they do, they dive into it head first, which I respect. I know, like, not to bring up Kanye, because a lot of reasons, but their song, the first song on Yeezus, On Sight, I know was produced by Daft Punk, and that's like one of the noisiest tracks in Kanye's discography. So that's always cool hearing that from them. But yeah, I guess my main thing with this project is that while it was fun while it was on, and I think the production has a fun vibe to it, I don't really see this sticking with me outside of the big one, Around the World. Everything else was either decent to good, but nothing quite had the same groove and energy that track did. And it's no wonder that they decided to further that sound with each subsequent release in their discography. Around the World manages to be the shortest 7-minute song containing a single melody ever made. And it's a clear standout, in my opinion, on this album. But like I said, everything else is pretty enjoyable, and I think would be even more fun in a live setting. And my favorites on here are Around the World, Da Funk, Burnin', Revolution 909, and Alive. And my least favorites were Teachers and Rollin' and Scratchin'. And overall, I gave it a light 7.
Nice. Yeah. Homework from 1997. I said this record was very out of my area of music, which I was expecting, even with having listened to the Random Access Memories. But even so, it was a mostly solid experience. This album was obviously made to be played extremely loud across speakers of French dance clubs, so it's very high energy and has very little lyrical content besides the words "around the world" a million times, or the names of artists that Daft Punk hold as influences on Teachers. I didn't super connect with anything across this album, but I will say. It makes great background music, and it is very well made all across. I'll also say that it's a bit front loaded in my opinion, with some tracks. I repeated that twice in the middle that I really wasn't feeling. But I did have a better time overall than I was expecting, and I was excited to listen to the rest. But nice. My favorites were Around the World, Phoenix, Fresh, Da Funk, Daft and Direct, and High Fidelity. And my least favorites were Rock and Roll, Rollin' and Scratchin', Teachers, and Oh Yeah. And I gave it a strong 7.
Cool. All
right. Moving on into the year that we were introduced to the world, 2001, with Discovery. This album felt a lot easier to digest. I don't know whether it's the fact that they made it for an animated movie or just the overall energy, but this was a lot of fun.
Quick question, because it sounds like you... Was it made for an animated movie, or was the animated movie made for the album?
I don't know.
I always assumed it was the other way around.
It might be.
Yeah.
That seems about right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I have to look.
Anyways, yeah.
I didn't fact check myself.
Yeah.
Pardon the noise. Along with the iconic tracks on here, there's a lot of just super fun bangers that I can see also being used super effectively within an animated movie as well as in the club. This album also doesn't really feel like the hour length that it is, which Homework felt a little long to me, kind of like Homework. Discovery felt about right, with only a few tracks that I felt could be a bit shorter, like too long. The closer, Namesake, great job there, Daft Punk. Overall, though, I really enjoyed this project, and I think it would be super cool to watch the film it was made for, or that the film was made.
In tandem,
Yeah. But my favorites from this were Something About Us, Digital Love, Harder, Faster, Better, Stronger, Superheroes, Face to Face, Voyager, One More Time, and Short Circuit. And my least favorites were Aerodynamic, High Life, and Too Long, and I gave it a decent 8 overall.
Alright, cool. Yes, Discovery 2001. Oh yeah, that's some good shit. Instead of focusing on making the most of analog equipment on this one, we get a lot more sample work and the robotic voices on this one, the iconic Daft Punk voices. And holy, are these guys some good producers. Several of the songs in this album have become iconic by this point, and it's for good reason. So much of this record is just incredibly catchy and just fun to listen to. Whether it be the triumphant kick drums of One More Time, the robotic glitchiness of Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, or the romantic tenderness of Digital Love. There's a lot of variety to be found on here, and those are just from the beginning of this album, the ones I mentioned. I've listened to this one a bit on and off since initially checking it out last summer, and I think the deep cuts have grown much more on me this time around. I still don't think this is fully 100% my thing. Like I wouldn't be pressing someone else that they need to listen to Discovery, but I do think it's a really damn great album that keeps surprising from start to finish, and that's pretty cool. And yeah, my favorites on here are Digital Love, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, One More Time, Face to Face, Something About Us, Verdus Quo. And my least favorites were Short Circuit and Aerodynamic. And overall, I gave it a strong 8.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, great album.
Oh, actually, wait, I just remembered. It's not Verdus Quo, it's Very Disco. Which, Very Disco, if you were to switch them, Discover, or Disco, Very, Discovery. There we go. Mind blown there. Cool, yeah. Cool. Next up, we got Human After All from 2005. Thank you. Daft Punk is my favorite rock duo right after 21 Pilots. This is one of those frustrating albums where the potential can be clearly seen all throughout, but it never quite maximizes on what it sets out to do. The duo go a little more rock on this one, like I was saying, with some distorted guitar riffs painting this record in tandem with some distorted synths. But I feel like this record has one consistent problem. It just isn't as interesting in the melody department. I wasn't finding myself grooving along or getting lost into these tracks like the last two records. And even the tracks that do have some fun riffs or memorable instrumentals, such as Make Love or Robot Rock, they all felt kind of super one-dimensional and like overly repetitive, but not like the pleasantly repetitive like they had done in the past. It's kind of just repetitive. Robot Rock especially, I was a little disappointed by. I was like, this, that like line is super fun and using memes and stuff like that all the time, and I was like, that's kind of really the only thing about this song. It doesn't really do much else besides that, which, I don't know. I don't think this album is terrible or anything, but it feels much more rushed together, I guess, than their other work, and I don't really know the backstory behind it, so I don't know. And I'm going to say it. For the song Technologic, Pentatonics did it better. I'm sorry, but it's true. I won't say that about many songs, but for that song, I will.
This week on Song of the Week.
Pentatonic. Well, it was part of their Daft Punk medley, but whatever.
The whole medley.
Yeah, I choose that over a Daft Punk song. While I still have quite a bit I enjoy about this record, I think it takes a lot of steps back in like the creativity departments on this one. My favorites were Human After All, Make Love, Robot Rock, and Television Rules the Nation. My least favorites were The Prime of Your Life, Technologic, Steam Machine, and The Brainwasher. Overall, I gave it a decent 6.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Human After All. This one's interesting for me. You know, while I can understand why it's the lowest rated of their albums on Album of the Year, there's something charming about it to me.
Yeah.
It feels dirtier and grimy compared to their other work. That feels more like clean cut, pristine, just very electronic and cool. But, you know, at certain points, you know, I was even getting a hint of like King Gizzard-esque stuff. And I think that grimy nature and tone is to thank for that comparison in my mind. But you know, I think some tracks are a little long and a bit too samey throughout. However, there are some tracks that are really good, and I would hold close to some of my favorites from the band, from the group, from the duo, from Daft Punk. I also really like what feels like the addition of electric guitars on top of all the usual electronic suspects. It just makes the music feel like more grounded, and I can see why. I can see why people don't really love it, but I think it stands up pretty fine next to their other work. I don't know. I just when I was listening to it, I was like, I liked like the grimier feel. It felt very cool.
Completely fair. Yeah.
That they did something a little different than the last couple.
Yeah.
Random Access Memories, which I've listened to prior, but still wasn't my favorite. But I didn't dislike it as the majority of Album of the Year did. But my favorites were Robot Rock, Human After All, Steam Machine, Television Rules the Nation, and Emotion. And my least favorites were Technologic and Make Love, and I give it a late 7.
All right, cool. I'm glad you kind of shared that Technologic opinion too, just because I saw a lot of people still liked that one. I was like,
that was.
I just didn't really like the vocal effect on that one.
Yeah, that was the worst one on the record.
Yeah.
But we take a big old jump from 2005 to 2013, nice 8 years, to Random Access Memories, and looking back and having this recent listening. It feels like a perfect goodbye to Daft Punk. It's extremely different from anything they really ever made. Feeling more subdued and serious with the exceptions of a couple iconic bangers. But there's some really interesting stuff on here, whether it be the genuine love song of The Game of Love or the life story within Giorgio. It's all super unique and interesting, while still feeling super Daft Punk, bringing back feelings of previous records as well with songs like Give Life Back to Music and Get Lucky. The features on here are also really good. My favorites, being Julian Casablancas from The Strokes. Love that song. Pharrell Williams, of course, and I like the song with Panda Bear on it too. All in all, though, this is a really good farewell from Daft Punk, and it feels like a really good goodbye from them, even though they didn't break up until, last year?
That was
officially.
That was 2 or 3 years ago at this point. It's been a while.
It has been, I guess. But, it deserves the praise it gets. I really like this record. And my favorites were Instant Crush, Get Lucky, Within, Give Life Back to Music, The Game of Love, Touch, and Doing It Right. And I didn't really have any least favorites. And I gave this one a late 9.
All right, cool. And Random Access Memories 2013. Honestly, I need to return to this project more because I feel like every time I do, I appreciate it additionally each time. The theme of this album is cinematic disco. The disco vibes are stronger here than ever before with these slick, dry guitar sounds and groovy bass lines. and of course the best vocoders ever put to vinyl. The entire thing is their smoothest output to date, and goddamn if this album doesn't hold some of their best musical moments to date as well. I get chills every time the orchestra drops on Giorgio, and the chorus, and the choirs that close out Touch gave me some of the same intense feels I felt about the choral sections of Björk's Vespertine, aka they made me tear up. The choirs on that song and that album, like, just it's beautiful. I need more choirs in my in my music, I guess. And then of course the choruses are insane on here too. Everyone knows Get Lucky, but basically everything here has the catchiest hook possible. This is one of those albums that truly doesn't have a bad song on it. And I think every track here has something about it that I love, even if I don't love the track as a whole. There are some songs that I just do not connect with. I don't know why I phrased it like that. There's some songs I don't connect with as much, as strongly. But for an album that's genre hopping between eras, like There's No Tomorrow, that's a pretty impressive feat altogether. I still have moments I love about every song. I will also say that the record does get a little long, even though the longest tracks on here are some of my favorites. I feel like some of the tracks towards the end of the record maybe could have been shaved off, released as like bonuses or something, fairly easily. Not Contact, though. The drums and the rising synthesizers kick ass on that one every fucking time. But yeah, this is a fantastic album, and has the band ending on a high note. My favorites are Giorgio by Moroder, sure. Contact, Instant Crush, Touch, Within, Give Life Back to Music, and Get Lucky. And my least favorites are Fragments of Time, Motherboard, and Lose Yourself to Dance. And overall, I gave it a light 9 as well.
Nice. Yeah, that's a really, really good album.
It really is, yeah.
I would definitely get that one on vinyl. I have it on CD, but...
Yeah, that would be a great vinyl record. And I'm thinking right now, I don't remember if I wrote a... Oh, I did.
Nice.
Okay.
Surprise.
I listened to 2 albums last night. It got very late, so I couldn't remember. So we'll see if these thoughts are cohesive. Overall thoughts on Daft Punk. Daft Punk are one of those groups that I feel like I would be absolutely enamored with in another life. Like if a time traveler kicked a rock and I ended up diving more into an electronic field than like a rock/classical thing, I feel like I would treat these guys like I treat Radiohead. And who knows? Maybe there's still time in my life for that switch to be flipped in my brain. But for such a gimmicky visual style that these guys have, they really are just incredible musicians in general. Excuse me. I really appreciate how every record felt so distinct from one another, even though it always had those stereotypical Daft Punk vocoders and synths pretty much on every record. But then diving headfirst into new techniques each time led to so many new sounds. And honestly, it's a little unreal how much musical development occurred between Homework and Random Access Memories. Like the bare bones nature of Homework into the larger than life on that last one. It's a shame that one of them blew up into Black Smoke in the Desert, because I would love to hear them continue to develop their sound into even more areas. But like I said in my review, Random Access Memories does feel like a natural spot to hang up the towel. They're going down as legends, and they managed to give France a better look by having had existed. Forgot I wrote that. These guys are a cool-ass duo, and I'm a little ashamed at how long it took for me to realize that.
Well said, Mike.
Yeah.
My overall thoughts. We've done a good few iconic artists this year for our analysis, but ending with Daft Punk just kind of feels right. Without veering off to live albums or the Tron soundtrack, their discography is short and sweet, and the praise that they've received from just those 4 albums in the general sense is well deserved. Their music is not really what I would consider my thing or style, but they created it all in such a way to introduce people to this area of music in a very welcoming and extremely well done way. I won't say it's all fantastic, but I will say it's all super well made and with genuine love for music that can be felt throughout the entire time. I would love to dive deeper into like their live stuff and then like the Tron Legacy soundtrack. I remember watching the movie.
Me too.
A long time ago.
That was a that was like right in that time frame there. It's like a highlight of the childhood type thing. Like that was a movement.
Yes. There were a couple Wii games based off of that. Those were fun as hell as well. But and I don't remember the soundtrack to it very well, but I
think there's like one song that's fairly big off of it or something. But yeah,
Daft Punk, iconic for a reason. Great group. And I also just need to re-listen to all these records again because they are really all well done. Yeah. But my album ranking for Daft Punk is Random Access Memories, Discovery, Homework, and Human After All. And my overall rating was a decent 8.
And my ranking was Random Access Memories, Discovery, Homework, and Human After All. And my rating was a decent 8.
It's not like super often that we get the same.
The exact same thing. But yeah. Well,
that was our analysis on Daft Punk. Hope you enjoyed, and go check out some Daft Punk. They make some really, really good stuff, especially Random Access Memories.
Yeah, and Discovery. I would say those two definitely huge highlights.
Definitely. But, great stuff overall.
Yeah.
And, those guys are cool as hell with those helmets.
They really are. All right. Well, if we're good to move into Song of the Week, I am up first. Mm-hmm. Did I talk about Fiona Apple last week? Yes, I did. I did. Okay. I was like, did I forget something? I need to add these to that, though. But I'm up first for Song of the Week, and I'm pretty sure the only one we have in there is Digital Love.
I think I have something from Random Access from when I listened to it, but I'm not
sure. Let's check. Some of my favorites that I listened to were those long-ass songs, and I'm not going to choose one of those.
No, it's okay if you do. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. I don't feel like doing a long one right now. My God, I can't find the playlist. BrokeN Bois. Songs of the Week.
That is the playlist.
That is the playlist. And if I search Daft...
Oh, that was wrong.
One more time. I could have sworn I chose Digital Love at some point.
I think you did choose Digital Love. You might have just put the wrong one in there.
Did I actually?
Let me see. How long ago would that have been?
I have no idea. I think I listened to Discovery like last summer, so 2023 summer.
Yeah, that would be in this one. I'm pretty sure you.
I'm almost positive. Did I forget to put it in and haven't noticed for this long?
I don't think you put one. I don't think we either of us had one more time. So you might have just hit the wrong song.
Oh. You know what? That's completely possible. And in fact, wait, when was that put in? Was that last summer, like I was saying? It sure was. Yeah, I think I did. Well, you know what? That's funny, though, because I actually was thinking of putting in one more time.
Oh, well, there you go.
I guess that's how we'll balance this out. So, I'm going to choose One More Time by Daft Punk.
Wonderful.
One more time.
All right, that was One More Time by Daft Punk. What'd you think of that?
That was great. Iconic for a reason. It's repetitive, but not in a bad way at all. I'm sure that somebody has counted how many times they say one more time in that song.
Oh, definitely.
But it's at least 100.
Yeah.
But, it's a great song. Really fun. Really energetic. It's iconic for a reason, like I said.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the horns on that one, the triumphant feeling of it, and how it just, I don't know, every time those kick drums come in, it sounds just so good, and it has such a great energy to it throughout, and I think it's paced really well, too. Even that part where he kind of moaned in the middle of the song. I think the vocals work really well, though, those Daft Punk vocals. It just... I don't know. It has just this great aura to it that I love listening to every time I put on Discovery. So yeah,
it's an interesting first song too.
It is. But, yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah,
great way to start off that great album.
Yeah. What are you feeling?
Well, since I didn't have it on the playlist, even though I thought I did, and it's my favorite song off of Random Access Memories, I'm gonna go with "Instant Crush" by Daft Punk.
And we will never be alone again, 'cause it doesn't happen every day.
All right. that was Instant Crush by Daft Punk. What do you think, Mike?
That's a great song. Like I said, that has such a sticky hook on it. And, you know, I don't love all the time when Julia Casablancas puts those types of auto-tune effects on his voice, but on that song it works. It works super well, and with the Daft Punk production and everything, it's a great song. I think every part of it is just catchy as hell. And that's impressive for like a 5-minute song or so.
Yeah, about
that.
Yeah. Ever since I listened to that album for the first time, I was a really, really big fan of it. I can't remember if we did the artist analysis for the Strokes before I listened to that album, but
I don't know.
You know, since or before then, I've been a Stroke victim, and I love that band. I love Julian Casablancas, and I'm really looking forward to whatever the Strokes releases next. But that song, Instant Crush, is just super fucking catchy all throughout. I love all of the guitar riffs and all the fun little bleep bloops that they got going on. I think that the auto-tune on Julian's voice is also really well done and like not super like just like cringe auto-tune.
Yeah, it's tasteful.
Yeah. But yeah, I just love that song. Really, really great. And Random Access Memories. Go listen to that.
Yeah.
And Discovery.
Yeah.
Like we said. You know, it's the end of the episode, and we don't usually say much here, but you know, I forgot to mention it, but the Batman 2 got delayed again.
Oh.
And I'm gonna kill myself.
That was a while ago now.
Yep. The Batman, the first Batman came out in 2022, I want to say.
That sounds about right.
Or was it last year? No,
definitely not last year.
No, it wasn't last year. It was 2022.
It was either 22 or even 21 potentially, but I think it was 22.
I think it was 22 in like March or something.
Yeah.
And the second one was supposed to come out, I think, either this year or next year. Then it got delayed till 2026 in October.
Oh my god! Okay.
And then now it's delayed till 2027. So
how the fuck are you delaying it 2 years away?
I don't know. I think part of it might be because they. Matt Reeves and Denis Villeneuve use the same cinematographer for Dune and the Batman. So if those are like butting heads, they might be taking turns with their cinematographer.
I guess so.
For the last Dune and the second Batman, but it's like, god damn it, man.
Yeah.
I really love the Batman, and
that was a great movie. I got to be that guy when watching the fourth Harry Potter and being like, "That's Batman."
That is
and
the
they're
Batman.
like, "What? That's Batman?" Yeah, that's the current
My
Batman.
son! Look at what they did to my boy!
Batman, but the roles are reversed.
Yeah. I mean, there's an alternate universe in the DC timelines where Thomas Wayne becomes the Batman because his son dies in the alley.
Wow.
And his mom becomes the Joker because she goes mad.
That's crazy how no matter what happens, someone becomes Batman.
Yeah. I don't know what I don't know if Thomas Wayne becomes afraid of bats or...
I was gonna say, like, wasn't that the whole point of Bruce Wayne?
But yeah, that upset me. But, you know, I also want to say this is our 200th episode.
It is.
And that's crazy. And, you know, we started in March of 2021 before we moved down, before I moved down.
Well, before both of us moved down.
Yeah, I mean, you were there a little bit before COVID, but...
I didn't, like, move down there.
No,
but
that's true.
Yeah.
Before either of us moved down to the middle of Illinois, before all that, and it's just been, like, it's been a good, constant thing throughout my life for the past almost 4 years, and I'm really glad I get to do it with you, and it's just been very fun, so thank you for doing it with me.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, that's one thing I always say, too. It's like, when people ask... when people ask what we do here or whatever, I'm just like, you know, we just talk about music, and if anything, it's just a great excuse to catch up with you every week too.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, since we're not that close with one another, like physically.
Yeah.
It's just a great way to talk about music, talk with the boy, talk to boys, you know, and it's a great part of the week. It's a nice little thing to keep schedule and keep everything going. Nice. Yeah.
It's been very nice, and you know, here's to 200 more.
200 more.
Here's to 200 more.
200 more.
But
I got like 2 more in me.
Okay, well,
yeah.
2 more years?
No.
Well,
minutes.
we gotta wrap up quick then. But thank you for watching. This has been our artist analysis on Daft Punk, as well as our Christmas catch-up.
Yeah.
But,
Yum.
me. Red like Santa's silly old outfit.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for watching, for listening, for being here, being around. And audio listeners...
Love you to death.
But if you want to catch us anywhere else, you can do so visually on YouTube. We're in person this week and next week for our esteemed BrokeN Awards, the 4th one. So come check us out on YouTube as well. But if you're on YouTube and you just want to hear our sultry voices and some air conditioner, some heating, and some dog, you can go do that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you catch your podcasts. We're all over there, and you can check us out. But we're around, so, and personal things. Song of the week. Yeah. I don't do these outros.
I know. I'm pleasantly leaning back right now, thinking about what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, any time. Song of the week. The segment we just did. We have 3 playlists, and you can catch those songs in 2 of those 3 places. I think that's what you say every week.
Yep.
We have a 1 for me, 1 for Mike, and 1 for the both of us, as well as all of our esteemed guests over the past 4 years, almost. And the guests that we've had, just so many.
All the time.
But yeah, you can listen to either One More Time by Daft Punk or Instant Crush by Daft Punk, as well as a litany of other things. That playlist, I threw it on in the car on the way to Christmas. It's 28 hours long. So
it's a long drive.
Yeah. I got through all of it. There's a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of good stuff. A few Daft Punk now. You got a lot of Kendrick, a lot of 21 Pilots, some really...
Dash of AJR.
Just some really good stuff all throughout.
Yeah.
And a couple Christmas things, too. So, go check out all 3 of those playlists. See which one of us have the better music taste, or just the one that corresponds with you the most.
Yeah, listen to both of ours individually, then the thing combined, and then decide who has the better taste.
Yes, it's the only way. But yeah, and then personally, as I alluded to, Mike, he makes music. He goes under the name Plaintive. He has an album called Coping Mechanism, and you should go listen to that, as well as a couple of soundtracks that he made for student-made films and series. That you can go check out. They're all very good. Coping Mechanism is great. He's got new music coming soonish, and it's gonna be great. Yeah, I'll hold him to it. But it's been great. He makes great music. He does a great job.
He does a great job.
And you can also find him on social media. He's got like TikTok, Instagram. He's not on Twitter anymore. Don't blame him at all.
Happier for it.
He's got YouTube channels such as Plaintive, where you can see a bunch of piano covers, and that you can also stream his music there, as well as anywhere else you stream music. He's also got a scores channel. Just pulling them all out. He's got a scores channel. Album of the year. Yeah. Where he rates and reviews music. You can probably go check out those Daft Punk reviews.
Yes. That's at this point, yes.
Yeah, as well as his 24 top albums of the year. I think that's it for you, pretty much.
Pretty much. I mean, other than my relation to the viewer, in which case I am in the desert, right behind our viewer. We just watched the Daft Punk guy get blown up into black smoke, and we're like, what the fuck? And Contact, I think it's Contact they had in that video. Contact is playing over, and those drums are just like echoing throughout the sky. It's like a horror movie.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I had time to think about it.
That's true. When it comes to me, I also have some personal stuff that you can go check out. I run the socials for the podcast. I have the Twitter where I update when episodes are released and if updates need to be had. I run the TikTok for the page, where I post some funny little bits that we've done over the past few years. Once the BrokeN come out, I'll probably post a couple funny bits from there as well. But and if you want to find my personal TikTok through there, I through my top 10 albums, got some good likes in there. I always like throwing those up there, so you can find it. I'm linked through there as well. But I have an album of the year where I also rate and review music. I don't have my Daft Punk stuff up there, but I have plenty of other stuff to look at. I have a letterbox where I rate and review movies, and I just logged that I watched the holdovers and Deadpool Wolverine. No new reviews or anything, but that's up there. You can go check those out as well. And I also have an Instagram review page. Yep.
Present tense.
Present tense. And in my relation, I'm also in said desert. But I am the other Daft Punk guy, and I'm gonna unmask myself. However they do that, it's probably not an easy task because it's not probably like just a latex mask. It's like a fucking big thing. And I'm gonna turn to you guys and be like, huh? That was cool, huh? He's dead. But in my black suit and turtleneck is what I think they were wearing, as well as their helmets in that video.
Yeah.
As Contact plays in the distance over the desert skies, we're all gonna turn to each other and mourn the loss of our Daft Punk brother. And me, you, and the viewer are all gonna come together in an embrace with the viewer in the middle, Mike behind, and me in front. And we're going to, me and Mike are going to look each other in the eye, but only one, from over the shoulder of our dear listener and viewer. And I'm going to say, thanks for 200, brother. And we're just going to engage in a nice smooch. Me and Mike just smooching on the lips, nice and tight, nice and wet in this dry desert. And we might be shedding a few tears over Daft Punk, but this embrace is the love cage, and there's plenty of love within this cage.
Oh, yes.
Because we've done many of them now. And if you would like your own love cage, all you must do, dear viewer, is drop your addy in the comments below. That's all you gotta do, and you'll get your very own love cage. So you won't know when, you won't know where, but you will get one.
Absolutely.
And it'll be themed accordingly. So drop that addy, and you'll get your very own. Absolutely. But for now, thank you for another great 100 episodes. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for I hope you enjoyed our artist analysis. Enjoy the Brokies next week. It's gonna be great. Next week. Some of my favorite bits in there that we've done. So we'll talk at you for another regular podcast for probably our anticipated albums of 2025. Yep. In a couple weeks, but for now, bye bye. Have a happy new year. Happy New Year.